Damn, son, where'd you find this?
It's your birthday, calling out for celebrate. Graduations, or a graduate degree. We got married in the hall, where our favorite bands would play. Opportunity tonight, now we watch it fade away. Of things, it's the end of everything. It's the end of things. It's the end of everything. Used to be some good together. How did everything go down? We had window seats to heaven and a fancy room downtown. On the mountain, slow erosion has begun. It's falling down around me. Can't find my way out. I can't see you. I can't be with you on the end of things. It's the end of everything. It's the end of things. It's the end of everything. When the sun sets, like it keeps you warm at night.
Bob Mould, live on the afternoon show. Bob and a fantastic band, Jason Narducci on bass and vocals, and John Worster on drums. It's great to have you guys here. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to be back.
And just heard two songs.
Back because I was here a couple of weeks ago for the grand opening.
You were. You played grand opening. That was fantastic.
That was great.
Thank you for doing that, and thanks to all of you for your longtime support of KEXP and helping build the new home.
Oh, my gosh. You're too kind.
So at grand opening, I mentioned loving the new album in passing. We're just up there on stage for a sec, and how scorching it is, yet how hooky it is. And you commented something to the effect of hiding all the darkness behind the sunshine.
Oh, a little bit. It's, the new album, Patch the Sky, is... some people have been describing these last three records as a trilogy now that the third album has appeared. And, to me, I wrote these records in very different circumstances. So, I think for the casual listener, they hear the tone and the feel of the records, and maybe they think, oh, there's three that are sort of the same. But, this record, a lot of darker stories to tell, sort of down stories for the most part. But
that's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You've had some dark stories.
Yeah. But I think the good news on it is the melodies are very, very uplifting on this one. And it's weird. It's such a catchy record, but, I'm not sure you want to circulate those stories constantly in your head. So that's been a technique that artists have used for years, right? You think of songs like the Beatles' Help just being a literal cry for help, yet, we just all sing it and... Yeah. Are very happy definitely.
doing so.
It's always the contrast is good, and sometimes the contrast is turned up a little higher, and I think that's the case with this record.
You mentioned kind of being a little nervous about it too.
Yep.
What did you mean by that?
Well, again, with it being such a down record, traditionally when I've written records that are very down in lyrics. I think for the real devoted fans, they love it. But I think for the casual fan or, people that are just coming to the work for the first time, they're like, what's this guy all on about with all this no sunshine kind of thing? So, this one being a little bit darker, I was like, I spent 6 months by myself writing the record.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when any artist isolates a little bit and you put yourself in a sort of a real personal space, you're never quite sure how it's going to play out in the field.
Was that different for you in terms of how you wrote these songs, or was it just kind of the emotional content that was maybe different or darker?
Emotional content was different, as dark, if not darker than most stuff. But, I think the difference is, with Silver Age, a lot of that record was written in a very compact period. Most of it was written December, January of 2011, 2012. Beauty and Ruin, the second of these three records that we made together, was a lot of that was written on the run, I guess. We were touring so hard through 12 and 13. I'd get home and barely have time to get my thoughts together and write some music and hopefully have some words that worked. And this record, again, 6 months of nothing but writing music and words. It's very, very different, very, very different circumstances. So I think as I was saying before, I think the results are very different.
Yeah, I was going to ask, kind of bring up the trilogy idea, at least in part because I'm biased. I'm a fan of all your work, but I've seen critics and some folks call the last three records kind of a career resurgence. I think CBS or News or in some major media outlet did a really good interview with you, and was just wondering if you felt that way.
Well, I go about my work year in, year out, and I think there are always prevailing trends in music. Sometimes loud guitars are in, sometimes they're out. Sometimes I tour a lot harder and do a lot more of the work that people think that, being visible, and that will have a lot to do with it. I think this time, putting out the autobiography in 2011 and sort of, opening up a little bit to people about my personal life, about my family, and, historical things that I didn't really talk about much until then. It sort of lifted a weight off of me.
Yeah.
And
there was certainly a lot of visibility, too, right around that period of time. I know there was that show that
the Disney Hall Tribute Show.
Yeah, and maybe the Sugar Reissues.
Yeah, Sugar Reissues work with the Foo Fighters. So I think I think there was a little bit brighter light on me at the time, and so I guess that's where the beginning. That would maybe help. Be a contributing factor to this resurgence that people are talking about. But trust me, I do my work every day, so it's I don't get to choose when it's popular and when it's not.
Yeah, and certainly congratulations too. It's been received really well, and for what it's worth nowadays, like a #1 album.
Yeah, #1 vinyl album in the U.S. for 1 week. That's like a real milestone for me, being a vinyl fan. Growing up on jukebox 7 inches when I was a kid, and my 2 albums a year I could buy at the drugstore. And so that meant a lot. In this day and age, I think the fact that people are coming back to vinyl and that people supported the record so strongly right out of the gate, it was definitely a milestone for me.
What was that first album you bought at the drugstore?
That would have been Revolver, probably.
Wow.
Back in '66.
Good one. On these last 3 records, you've had this incredible band too.
Yeah. We've been, Jason and I have been, we've been working, we've been friends and worked together for 25 plus years now. Yeah,
Jason played in Sugar also, or toured with Sugar. You didn't?
No.
Not. Maybe played Sugar songs.
Yeah, when we did the Copper Blue stuff, we were all playing together. I've known Jason, and his work since, Jason and Allison and Verbo and all the projects he's been in now Split Single, the projects that Jason's been involved in Chicago, in Evanston. And, so we've worked together a lot. And then John came on board in 08. In the middle of a tour. We had a drummer that had some other obligations, some other concerts and things that he had to attend to, and Jason had suggested that we give John a call on very short notice. You were coming off an AC Newman tour or what? Mountain Goats tour. John does Mountain Goats, Superchunk, AC Newman, many Sharpling and Worcester, many things, and luckily John was pretty familiar with most of the songs that were in the set at the time, so we
just got
did a sound check together in San Diego, and he's been here ever since.
Well, it sounds fantastic. Absolutely great.
It's really a pleasure to play with these guys. It's quite a. It is. I've been telling people this is the best band that I've ever been in, and some people find that very blasphemous because they have an attachment to the '80s, but
yeah.
Trust me, it's the best band I've ever played.
That's awesome. And playing tonight at Showbox at the Market, tomorrow night at the Wonder Ballroom in Portland, doing a little West Coast thing here. Mm-hmm. So I need to ask, our Minnesota roots run deep, and we both spent a lot of time in the Twin Cities. You started Husker Du there in '79 while going to McAllister. That's about the time I started working at First Avenue, which was Uncle Sam's, and spent 14 years there. We kind of grew up there.
Yes, we did.
It's certainly like family from that era, and First Ave, just a remarkable place during that time that a lot of bands like, Husker Du, The Replacements, and Prince got their, starts. And, man, you guys played First Avenue the day after Prince passed away.
Yeah. We started the tour on April 20th. It was a Wednesday in Madison. Played a show there, and then had an off day to drive up to Minneapolis and relax before the weekend shows. And we were about an hour outside of Minneapolis on I-94, and John was the first one to pick up cell service.
Yeah,
because it's a little spotty in northwest Wisconsin. But John said Prince died. So like, what? And then we got within range, and we put on, one of the local radio stations, and they were confirming this. They had some people, on site confirming what had happened. It was pretty pretty shocking. And, we're driving into town. We're staying a block and a half from the club. And, in my mind, I'm already, sort of imagining what kind of, sadness and chaos and celebrations await us. And
how to respond to something like that. That's such a shocker.
Well, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The whole thing was unbelievable. And, immediately, my phone was on fire, with media people and stuff. So I just, got to my room and sort of spent a minute and, just wrote some words, just a reminiscence of what Minneapolis was like. And, my fleeting, encounters with Prince, which were very few and far between. And, just tried to frame what his music meant to everybody in the Twin Cities. And, and then Friday and Saturday, of course, the two shows at First Ave. And for people who didn't know, that was where Purple Rain was filmed. And that's where
right.
you DJ'd all the time. And that's where I got drunk all the time. And that's where all of us lived, like you said. And it, to go back to that room, it was great. A lot of people were asking, are you nervous? Are you this or you that? I'm like, well, no. I mean, this is my home. I grew up on this stage. Of course, this is a very somber occasion, but music is what heals us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I was out of the country, had a similar experience. My phone was just blowing up and couldn't believe it, and just wanted, to be back here at KEXP and be on the air in a moment like that. And then, two, right after that, just wanted to go to Minneapolis ASAP and just be at First Ave for some reason, just being in a community with, fellow music lovers and, fans of Prince would have been a very profound experience. And the impact that he had on the Twin Cities was, just incredibly profound. What was it like just being in Minneapolis those days, those 2 days, and just being on the street and being in front of the club? I mean, there were thousands of people congregating.
well, yeah, Thursday when the news broke, the I don't know if it was the club or the city or both, blocked off the entire block out front between Hennepin and First Avenue North on 7th Street. And there's tens of thousands of people out all night, celebrating and music playing and people singing. There was a house band and people were getting up and singing, Prince songs, and everything was purple. Friday when I woke up, everything was purple.
Yeah.
Went to Glam Doll Donuts. All the donuts were purple.
The Walgreens was purple.
The Walgreens was purple. Everything was, so it was amazing, and nonstop news, TV and radio, and it's a lot. It's always a lot to consider when a local legend or an international legend such as Prince passes, and and then sort of negotiating the club that day and the sound check and the hordes of foreign reporters. Who are you? Who? And just trying to keep my head down and do my work.
Yeah, and you guys did do a Prince cover that night.
We did. It was funny. We did When You Were Mine, and I'm not the best at remembering all the words to songs. Fortunately, our tour manager knew the words, and it was funny because the Suicide Commandos, who you played right before we came on, supported us on those shows. They and also a young band called Fury Things, and it turns out, we were sort of trying to hush the whole thing. We didn't rehearse it. We were going to sneak it in the middle of one of my songs, which is the same tempo and key. And then we got a note, Commandos are working on that. We're like, oh no. But all's well that ends well. Both bands got together on stage and played it together. So that was that worked out really well.
Yeah, it must have been.
I think it took people a while to recognize it because it didn't have that that lilt.
Yeah, that total bounce. Probably had some heavy guitars.
It's a little more pummeling. Yeah.
Well, a sweet moment. Bob Mould and band live on the afternoon show here, KEXP, playing tonight at Showbox. Thanks for sharing those memories of that moment.
Of course.
The new album, absolutely fantastic. Patch the Sky, and want to play a couple more songs?
Yeah, we're gonna play One more off the record, and then we'll play an old one, and then maybe we'll do something a little extra at the end. But
Great.
This one's off the album. It's called You Say You.
Bob Mould live on the afternoon show, KEXP, the song The Descent from Silver Age. Right before that, You Say You from Patch the Sky, playing tonight at Showbox at the Market tomorrow night in Portland at the Wonder Ballroom. Can you tune and talk at the same time?
That's fun stuff. I'm tuning. Check in with Jason.
Jason. So I noticed this week there's a string of West Coast tours or shows. Portland tomorrow night, then down in L.A., back up to San Francisco, and then what?
And we go home.
We go home for a little while.
Yeah.
We go home and then get a little break, and then I'm sure there'll be more stuff.
Yeah, so summer's gonna be quiet, and then hopefully some more stuff in the fall and winter, and hopefully some stuff in the spring as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the response has been great. The shows have been wonderful. The crowds have been amazing. It's a lot of not only First Ave and Showbox and Wonder, but got Metro in Chicago, Paradise in Boston, 930 Club in D.C., Webster in New York. I mean, these are places that all of us have seen so many shows and grown up playing these stages. So it's been really a great trip, and thanks to everybody that's come out to see the shows, and as long as the duct tape holds, we'll keep touring.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
And I guess we're going to close it out with, if that solo wasn't enough for all y'all, we'll play one with a guitar solo in it. That's Black Confetti.
Black Confetti. Bob Mould live on the afternoon show. That song on Patch to the Sky. Bob Mould playing tonight at Showbox at the Market, the Wonder Ballroom tomorrow night on the West Coast. And man, thank you so much again, and congrats on the new album.
Thank you, Kevin, and congratulations on the new live room and the new facility and the same great music as always.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep the albums coming. If you need any black duct tape, we'll lend you as much as you need.
Black duct tape is wonderful.
Huge thanks to Jim, Justin, Alia, Scott, Matthew, Kevin, Matt, O, Nancy, Milton, everybody helping out behind the scenes, all the donors that make this possible, and John, Jason, Bob, thank you so much. Bob Mould, live on the afternoon show. It's KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered kexp.org.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?